Hey everyone, I wanted to show you all a little bit of one of my favorite creative uses of Wavetable. Now Wavetable is the beautiful new Wavetable synthesizer we've got with Live 10. Amazing user interface and graphics and visualization on it. It sounds amazing. It's very easy to use and it's very flexible. It goes very deep too as well. So what I wanted to do is take some of the amazing shapes and sounds we've got in Wavetable and see if we can create a little bit of reverberation out of them. So over here I've got a piano with my Convolution Reverb Pro from my Max for Live library loaded onto it. And just listening to our default patch here on Convolution Reverb. That beautiful realistic impulse response in Convolution Reverb here. But what I wanted to do is capture a little bit of Wavetable sound and see if we could apply that to this piano motif that I've got going on here. So what I've got is a channel with Wavetable pulled up, and I found a few of the tables that tend to have a good response when we create a reverb out of them. So if I play a note, a very, very low note on my keyboard, in this case, this is C octave -2, so this is a very low note. You can hear you get this nice, almost vintage echo kind of sound out of it. So I've gone through and I found a few tables that make sense for this, and one of my favorites is under our complex collection, we've got the transformations tables. And at about 39%, this is a pretty good little sound, and you can hear the difference in sound as I play this really low note. Okay, I like it right about there, but there's a lot of variation in the sound already just from that extremely low note. The reason I'm playing a very low note is that I want as little pitch information as possible, and at very, very low octaves, Wavetable responds with this rhythmic pulsing character rather than one that's more note or pitch based. So I'm going to record a very simple staccato note playing that C octave -2 here. And you'll notice that I've set my envelope on Wavetable to have about a 3-second release or so right down here, which is nice for getting some reverberation out of it, and got to get a long enough release that we have some reverb time to work with. All right, now I'm going to take this MIDI note that I recorded way down here. There we go. I'm going to freeze this track and then drag this clip over into audio right here. And I can see that I've got my actual audio file laid up. I want to hit Command-4 to turn off my grid and adjust my loop so that I just have the audio file, just the audio portion here. And then I'm going to crop the sample, and we'll pull the gain up just a tiny bit on that loop. And now I've still got the same Wavetable sound, but I'm ready to drag and drop this audio clip over my Convolution Reverb Pro right here. And when I do so, right down here, I now have that Wavetable as an impulse response. So let's listen to what this sounds like with our piano motif underneath it. Very cool spooky sounds come out of this, especially with the reverb set to all the way wet. Now let's try this with another Wavetable here. So I've got pulled up here underneath my Format collection and the unaligned form. Again, I've got a release time on my envelope on Wavetable of about 3 seconds or so. So I'll play in a very low octave C -2 here. All right. Take my MIDI clip here, freeze it, drag it over to an audio track, and then I'm going to turn my grid off, select the audio again, and crop the sample. Turn up my gain just a little bit, maybe crop that a little bit tighter. There we go. Now I go back to my Convolution Reverb Pro, drag and drop the Wavetable clip, and can listen to the piano through this second Wavetable idea. It's a nice, beautiful way to get some spooky, creative sounds, and this sounds almost like a Telray type of vintage echo we've got available. Now, of course, you can also go to Wavetable and use two different oscillators. In this case, I've got Rust from my collection, and then Cobalt from the collection combined together. So let's listen to it here. More complex sound with even some sub-frequency down there. I'm going to create a very simple staccato note. All right, freeze this track. Drag it over to an audio clip. Turn my grid off. Crop it just to my audio clip right here. And then drag this audio clip over to my Convolution Reverb Pro. And listen to the dry wet all the way up. Very, very nice, spooky, beautiful sounds in that. So that's a little bit of how we could use Wavetable as a creative resource that maybe is a little bit of an unexpected use for you, and a way to understand a little bit more of what Wavetable is even doing and the kind of sounds that it's using and creating, as well as a way for you to design some reverberation with Convolution Reverb and Wavetable that sounds like no other reverberation out there. So have fun, get deep and nerdy with it, and I hope you enjoy it.